Hello, Slow Parenting family from across globe. Thank you so much for joining us on this very special edition of the Slow Parenting podcast on Nostalgia Media. Very special edition for so many reasons. Number one, this is the very last time you see my face on a live stream for this year, 2025. This is episode 13 of season 7. Like we've hinted earlier in previous episodes that we would be bringing the live stream to a close for this year 2025. We'll be taking a episodes of the Slow Parenting podcast on TikTok, the Parenting for All season live stream on TikTok, Slow Parenting podcast on YouTube. Okay, so thank you so much for being here. My name is Richie Adewusi. I'm still the guy who sits here to talk parenting with all of us. And today we are going to take you a little bit back and then come back here and then go to tomorrow. Because it's important to get us to have an understanding that we didn't just start this. This has been ongoing for like three different decades. And I will show you some pictures of some of the young people who have benefited years from this program years ago, some of whom have their PhDs today. Yes, okay. So we're not just here talking. Why are we committed to this? Why are we focused on this? Well, the conviction that a lot of the cracks that we see out there in the general population society come from parenting failures. Whether you're talking about people in leadership, in business, whatever cadre, whatever ladder in leadership in society, parenting failures. Okay, in various forms, in various degrees. Bruised children who carry those bruises and then believe they have some stuff against the whole of humanity, and when they find themselves in positions of authority, they don't care anymore. But the unfortunate thing about it is that they have children. They also have children. Their children get to learn from them. And that whole cycle of unfeeling, uncharitable behaviors, uncaring behaviors continue until now become subculture in a lot of the societies across the world. That is my concern as an individual. That is why I bent on running this parenting program. That's why I've been running it this past 3 decades plus. And that's why I'm going to continue. Okay? So even when I'm saying we're bringing the live stream to a close this episode, yes, it's not because we're ending. It's not because I'm throwing in the towel. No, I'm in this for a long haul, for the long haul, because I believe all hope is not lost. Yeah, all hope is not lost. When we begin to feel that the entire humanity, every one of us have become one size fits all, that is when we lose it. We are not. We're not. We're at various stages, degrees of still retaining our humanity. And we have to find enough of those who still have some, tints, not measure, tints. Measure is heavy, tints, coloration of humanity in us. So that just by chance, just possible, we can try to talk to the younger ones. And maybe, just maybe, okay, there'll be hope for change. There is hope for change. And that's why we're talking today about faith in motion. If you like inspiration, motivation, ability in motion. Okay, ability starts from somewhere inside of you. Starts from things you've learned, things you've seen, things you've studied, things you've observed, and things you are willing to practice. This whole season 7, we've been talking about Christ Esteem. I'm talking Christ Esteem like I've said it on this podcast that I'm a Christian, so I'm not evangelizing. I'm not preaching for you to become Christian. No, that's not what the purpose here is. I can only talk to you about what I know. Okay, and I've said severally, whatever you believe in, look for the correlating tonics, nuggets from them to use to have an understanding that you have a better chance of making it, you, the parent, if your belief, if your confidence is not just built on yourself, your bank account, your learning. No, it has to be something bigger than you. And it should not be built on other people. Yes, that's the whole idea about Christ Esteem. That's the whole concept. It's not you. It's not about you. It shouldn't be about that uncle, that auntie, that sponsor, no, not your bank account, not that beautiful place you live in, not the money you have today. No, because all of those things are transient. If not now, tomorrow. So you need to build your confidence and your motivation on something that is beyond you and beyond anything and everybody else. That's the whole idea behind Christ Esteem. And that's why we've been having this talk. And that's why we're ending, this season, this episode 13, talking about faith, if you like, motivation, if you like, inspiration in motion. As a child growing up, I never felt there was anything I couldn't do. And that's for real. But then I saw then as I was growing up, siblings, friends, focusing on limitations. I cannot do this because that person is taller. My hand is not enough. When I can look for a stool and climb and pick whatever it is, when I can look for how this mark, there's a I think it's here on my head here. when picking fire, but during the Nigerian Civil War, really, but that's another. But I will tell you about this. People they were trying to jump and get the platform down. They were trying, but they were afraid it's going to fall on them. Of course, I brought the platform down. Of course, it fell off. Of course, it got buried in my head. I've never backed down from putting myself forward to get things done, even when people say it can't be done. So parenting is not easy. It's not one size fits all, yes. But parenting is about you choosing to become a parent. It's about your parent that decided to have you. But we are losing it. Okay? Yes, there can't be, there is not, and there can't be a one-size-fits-all, curricular processes for parenting. Because again, remember, and on this program, on this podcast, we've always told you, it's about your culture, your tradition, your beliefs, your etiquettes, your family values, the penal codes of the societies in which you live. So it's not us, not me, enforcing this is, no, it's you. Because you are the best person, you are in the best position to know about your culture, your traditions, your family values, your family etiquettes, the laws and penal codes of where you live, where you come from, that apply to where you are today, that should be applicable to your children. It's up to you to pass them down. That's why we're talking about Christ Esteem. Christ Esteem here is what I believe in. So I'm saying, talk about what you believe in the same light. Okay? Why would I say I can't? I felt nothing. I didn't feel, limited in any way. No, don't misunderstand that. I didn't think that, I didn't see impossibilities when I had to do things. Not that I believe I can jump into the Atlantic and then come out from the other side. No, that's stupidity. Okay? But I believed in learning, observing, and incidentally, that's how your children are. That's how all of us learned. That's how all of us are still learning. So if you now live in such a way that you believe until somebody else comes to help you, nothing else will work, your children will see that's what they will live with. That's how they will grow. But if you're a problem solver, they see you. When challenges come, what do? You kneel down, you pray. You pray, you are doing. You didn't just pray and lie back and say, God will come down to come to do it. No. You are an athlete. They see you leave home, go on your road walk, go on training. They see you make efforts. So in the same vein, you encourage them to make efforts. And you applaud their efforts. Results are fine. Results are desired. They are appreciated. They are valued. But efforts bring results. So the place to start with them is you can do this. Go ahead, try. But start from the basics. Let them see you talk through that situation, that challenge with God. Pray. And let them see you not just remaining at prayer and wishing. No. Let them hear you ask for directions. Let them see you apply those directions in solving, in facing, focusing, attending to the challenges for which you are praying for answers. And when those answers come, no matter how little, celebrate them, include your children in those celebrations. Let them see, yes, you're celebrating. This has happened. You pray to move from one locality, from one neighborhood to another one for specific reasons. Don't just do things because let your children not see you pray for things or wish for things or want to do things because other people are doing them. No. Have your reasons. Let them see the reason. Discuss those reasons because you are not the only one moving. For instance, in the case of moving, they're going to move with you. Discuss it. Hear them. If they have the different opinions about moving out, don't sweep it under the carpet, debate it, and agree. But most importantly, let them see you go from planning to executing to achieving to now taking stock. A process, not microwave, not pressure cooker, not photocopy. No, you didn't just arrive. Like, what is happening? No, let your children see a process in your becoming. So you use that to let them know that arriving is a process. Becoming is a process. Being is a process by way of becoming. It's not an event. Life is not an event. Life in its entirety is a process. Processes have structures, materials, ingredients, resources that drive them. For us as human beings, we have people around us. But some of us have the wrong people around us that make us doubt even ourselves. So you want to build your confidence in an entity that's declared he would be with you even to the end of time. You want to build your confidence, your faith, your inspiration, your motivation on an entity that has declared that is made known, it's made public there that once that entity is your powerhouse, greater is he when he's the one in you than whatever else is in the world, whatever else is around you. Yes. Your children need to see that. So I've received quite a number of feedback to say, oh, you've turned your parenting program into a preaching, a church service. Like, no, no. It's because in the last 6, 7 episodes, we've been talking from a particular book I've written. The title of that book is Christ Esteem. You will see most of the, or not most, all the books you're seeing scrolling behind me are my books on parenting. And Christ Esteem is one of them. And I can't give you what I don't have. I give you what I know, what has worked, what is working. And because I know it will work for you in your grooming your own children. Today, I saw a picture online. Well, I had prayed earlier on. Today, my daughter, I'm like, wow. So many years of marriage, just like yesterday. Yeah. 2011, November to today. I can feel the way I'm feeling because I have a witness inside of me that she has two beautiful, intelligent daughters, my granddaughters now. She's saying, so we cannot neglect parenting. We cannot sweep parenting to the back burner. It has to be on the front burner. And that is the reason for which I designed this project. And over the years, I've been humbled by the number of organizations and individuals who have supported, who have said, oh, you can do this. Yes, we support. From the Real Netherlands Embassy to the World Bank, to DFID, to USAID, so many, and some local industries, to MTN in Nigeria, to the soulmate industries in Nigeria, so many organizations over the years. So I feel obligated not to back out because, again, before development partners fund, they give you money, grants to run any ideas, to develop any ideas. Part of what you are going to be saying that will make it possible for you to get a grant on all this, how do you plan to sustain this when this money is no longer available to you? So we designed this program after those initial years of piloting and then scaling up with funds from different organizations. We designed it to sustain itself. And how we designed it to sustain itself was to take this parents, parents teachers called parent forums. In Lagos State, southwest Nigeria. When those private companies, organizations, and then went into partnership with parents and schools, due to some personal reasons, personal family reasons, I've mentioned this on the program. I mentioned this severally before in the course of, I think this is 18 months of running this podcast. That we had to suspend the project. But before I suspended the program, because I don't believe in telling people to do things I'm struggling with. No. So, but when I had a closure about those challenges, because I can now tell you as a parent that things can go north or south, and I have experiences on both spectrums, so I can share with you. It's not just books, not academic. I didn't want to run this program academically. I didn't want to cancel. I didn't want to be involved in counseling, in mentoring academically. No. I wanted to share lived experiences. So when those closures came in 2002, at that case, it was time. And then we had to get back to updating these books and made them globally available. Before, the books were not available in any bookshop, really. They were only available during trainings. People who have registered to attend training programs within the states in Nigeria that were running the programs then. But now, we have decided to make this program global. The reason we started this podcast in the first place. And we're on our way to introducing what we've called the Parenting Institute. Not immediately, so don't worry. The Parenting Institute is going to come on stream in December of 2026. But between now and December of 2026, we are relaunching the Engendering Family Bonding Program in Nigeria through partnership with parents in private, first of all, private primary and secondary schools in Nigeria. It's not new. We didn't just start this. Like I said, I shut it down. I'm sorry, but I have to believe in what I'm going to do. Anything. It's not new. And I will show you. Guys, if you could help me, I'll show you pictures, pictures from our inauguration of what we call, because when we designed this program back then up until, we ran this up until 1997. Sorry, no, 2007, I'm sorry. Okay, from 2000 to 2007, we ran this program in partnership with, something else is up here now. Okay, so you could see the pictures there. The pictures that you see on YouTube there. Sorry, guys, on TikTok, you will not see, TikTok has some different rules, but you could always go to our YouTube channel, you'll find it. On the pictures you see there is from a particular school in Lagos State, Southwest Nigeria. It's called the Atlantic Hall School in a place called Poka in a pair of Lagos State, Nigeria. That was 18 years ago, 2007. That was the inauguration of what we call the Pipe Club. Pipe, this project is designed to target parents and their children. My ultimate target is the young people, is the children. But then we are of the conviction that parents are in the best place to provide certain kinds of information and education as far as it concerns their growing up and development directly, not academic. Well, they'll still play roles concerning the academics of their children by providing the resource needed for them to go to school, help them to do homework and all of that. There are some other life skills that parents are the best people suited to provide those life skills. That's why we designed this program. It didn't just happen. The children themselves, the young people themselves demanded it. In 1998, they held a summit which we facilitated. It was called the Youth Agenda Summit in Nigeria. And they came up with, I think, about a 24-point communique. We, the youths of Nigeria. So they titled it then, What We Want. And within the points of that communique, there were about 4 or 5 points that were targeted at their parents, at parenting. And I decided to do something about those. I picked those and developed this project from 1998 to now. So the project is of two sides: direct training for parents, specific information and education about specific issues in parenting, from communication to skills acquisition to be able to give information to providing resource materials. There were no books, seriously. There might be 1 million books today. There were no books in Nigeria on parenting. You could go and check. That's why I wrote this book. These books are from 1998. So we had to develop materials. Okay, the children want their parents to get information and be the ones to pass the information to them from where? The internet is not what it was today in 1998. So we designed that program to train parents through the PTAs. And then every PTA that participated in that training, we inaugurated what we call the PIPE Club for the children, for their children in those schools. PIPE is participatory interactive peer education. I designed the model as against traditional peer education models that were difficult to measure. This was designed specifically for its measurability. So the pictures you see there is Atlantic Hall is one of the biggest private secondary schools in Nigeria. You can go and find out today. If you go online to say you want to register your child, you want your child to go there, they will tell you their fees are not advertised. You only see how much you need to pay to take forms to fill before finding out whether your child is qualified to go there or not. And it was just one of those schools. It wasn't the last school. It's not the only school then. So we're bringing this project back, okay, to Nigeria, and we're talking to some of our other project partners from across Africa, West Africa, Eastern Africa, Southern Africa. By the way, some of my friends who helped in the process, in the piloting or in the pre-testing of some of the tools, resources, and the process for this program were from 7 different African countries when we designed this. And I've been invited to present papers in different conferences over time, outside Africa, within Africa, over this parenting issue. So we're not just here. I'm not saying the things I'm saying to show off, no, but just to let you know that it's from a genuine concern, okay? Genuine concern. I'm concerned about what's happening there. It's all the leaders that are misbehaving. I use the word misbehaving carefully. Their children are watching them, so what do you think is going to happen? So where's that hope coming from? Where is the solution going to come from? They see their parents loot, steal, lie, cheat. So who do you think they will become? Or who do you think they have become? The rest of us, we are out here feeling holier than thou. No, I'm not. I don't cheat. I don't loot. Yeah, you don't. Good for you. Yes, you brought your children up not to. Good for them. But unfortunately, they're going to have to interact with those people. So it makes sense for us to work at developing a critical mass of the number of children or the member of the general population that have a better sense of some moral fiber in getting to handle public things. If not so, whether you are talking about conniving with colonialists, conniving with cabals, whatever you are, there's no escape. The escape route is through families, through your parenting, through your letting. When we were growing up, you dared not return home with someone else's pencil in your school bag. Is that what still happens today? No. So we're introducing this as we break up today. We're going into consultations with different groups, with different individuals. In Nigeria, like I said, in some West African and Southern and Eastern African countries, to roll out this program, the engendering family bonding program, through primary and secondary schools, through parents and their children in primary and secondary schools. Let's start from Africa. Somebody said, why are you not rolling out in Canada? I said, wait, hold on. We'll get there. The Wazobia Plus Center Canada was not founded for fun. We're going, we're moving, we're going somewhere. Here, when you say Africa, people arrive here. Immigrants come in here, new arrival. Everybody here is an immigrant, one way or the other, from whatever time. But people arrive here. So this program was this also been designed and adapted for this environment. But first, the way things are happening back there in Africa is alarming. It's crazy, and it's parenting, please. I stand to be. It's not that parenting is better here, no. But structures in this northern part of the world, structures are holding. Yeah, but people out there in the south, I don't mean southern Nigeria, I mean southern parts of the world. Some people in the north too are targeting, the integrity of systems and structures. But because those systems and structures have been built in such ways to sustain themselves, at some point they get to fight back. Go to the US now, same thing is happening. The system is reasserting itself. But in Africa, no. It's easy to take everything and put everything in an individual's pocket. I don't mean money. I mean everything. And we need to let our children today know that it's up to them. It's up to them. Okay? So please. So if you are interested in partnering with us, if you are listening to me at this time or at any time to run the engendering family bonding program within your country, your environment, your community, the schools you run or schools where your children are. Yes, it will come on stream, okay? December 2026. We'll have the Parenting Institute. It's a resource, a go-to continuous resource for parents to access on-time, online, real-time help for themselves and their children. From nutrition to psychology to psychiatry to any physiological issues, would have resource persons that are there to provide the support that parents will need real time online. Okay? Over there. But from January of 2026, we work with parents directly through educational institutions. First, the private educational institution, primary, secondary, in Nigeria and some African countries that I missed the Caribbean, African and Caribbean countries that have, we're in consultations at getting this started in those places at this time. So right now, we always produce a video for you to get the whole package in one pack. The whole thing we're talking about here, we've said about here. So we'll play back the video for today's episode. And when we come back, we're going to take the questions and contributions and comments from community members for the last time this year, for the last time this season. Okay? Thank you so much. Don't go away. And we'll be back.
Dear parents, please watch this video to help your children understand that they are capable of anything good and honorable. Children often doubt their own strength or feel limited by circumstances. Yet grace is already at work in him, even when it seems invisible. As Dr. Richie Adewusi teaches in Christ Esteem, you cannot touch or feel grace. Never mind, it is there all the same. It shows up in power when you need it and then ask for it in your prayers. Every challenge your children face is an opportunity for them to discover this capability. When they rely on Christ, even the seemingly impossible becomes possible. Your guidance, encouragement, and modeling helps them see that strength is not just what they can do on their own, it is what flows through them when they lean on Christ. Here are 5 ways to help your children grow into lives full of capability. 1. Teach them to seek Christ first in every challenge. Encourage your children to pause and invite Christ into their struggles. Whether it is a school project, a friendship challenge, or learning a new skill, help them recognize that Christ's strength would guide their efforts. When they see that asking for divine help is natural and effective, they internalize that capability is rooted in reliance on Christ. 2. Give them tasks that stretch their faith and abilities. Let children try things that feel difficult or unfamiliar. Celebrate efforts over perfection and emphasize that even when they stumble, Christ's power equips them to keep going. Capability grows when children see that setbacks are not failures but moments to trust Christ more deeply and act with courage. 3. Make prayer a tool for empowerment, not just comfort. Teach children that prayer is not only for safety or guidance but for strength to act boldly. Encourage short prayers before tests, performances, or problem-solving situations. When they connect prayer with action, they learn that capability is a partnership with Christ, not just personal effort. 4. Help them develop problem-solving skills. Encourage children to think creatively and explore solutions when challenges arise. Ask guiding questions instead of giving immediate answers, so they learn to rely on both Christ's wisdom and their own initiative. This builds confidence and shows them that capability includes both faith and action. 5. Foster perseverance through meaningful goals. Support your children in setting small, achievable goals and seeing them through. Celebrate milestones along the way and discuss how setbacks could be learning opportunities. This helps them understand that real capability grows through persistence and faith, not instant success. Capability is not something children inherit automatically. It is cultivated through guidance, example, and opportunities to see Christ's power at work in their own lives. When you help your children lean on Christ, they learn that nothing is too big, and no obstacle is too heavy for a life empowered by Christ. Pause today and reflect. Are your children practicing reliance on Christ in ways that reveal the God-given strength? Are their everyday challenges helping them discover the capability that already lives in them? Share this message with another parent who needs encouragement today. And remember to like, comment, follow, and subscribe to the #Slow Parenting podcast for more videos like this. Not just hacks, but heart.
Thank you so much, guys, for remaining here with us. Welcome back. You saw the video, so it's there. You can watch it as many times as you want. You can share it. Like we said, please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to support us. If you have subscribed already, thank you so very much for doing so. So we go straight into contribution from our community members. The first one here says, how do I teach reliance on Christ to children who say they do not feel anything when they pray? It's not about feeling. That's the exact issue we're raising here. It's about what they see you. It's about you running the process for them to see. It's about you exhibiting faith and that reliance and that belief and that confidence and vocalizing it. They need to see you. Okay? It's practical. Like you had in the video, it's not inherited. It's not just somehow they will get to know it. No, it's practical. They see you pray. And that is why we also say when you have shown what you build your confidence on, when the changes, no matter how small, when those changes come, be excited, share, wow, see, yesterday we prayed about this, see what has happened. Not to make it look like life is some magic that depends on, no. Even the Bible itself doesn't say you should just pray. It says you should walk and pray. Watch and pray. Watch means walk. So don't rely on the prayer alone. It's not about feeling, okay? It's action. What is the difference between capability and pressure? And how can parents avoid crossing the line? And knowing your children. If you know your children, you know them, you know their limits. All of us are not, there's no one size fits all in the way we do things as individuals. Even twins. I have shared on this live stream severally. My immediate younger brothers are twins. They don't do things, they've never done things the same way. So experientially, I know that even people who are twins don't do, they might do certain things in similar ways, but they don't necessarily believe or agree on everything. So you need to know your children. Once you know them, you know what each of them is capable of doing. And then you also know that the strategy or the tactics you use for one person is not, you wouldn't use one size fits all when you are getting them to get things done. Okay? What do I say to my children when they ask why God allows pain and suffering? First of all, pain says you are alive. That's the first thing. If you feel pain, it means you are alive. I'm actually writing a book. Pain says you are alive. Yeah. Whatever kind of pain. But children might not understand that. But okay, it's painful. Oh, that means, oh, thank God, that means you are alive. Things that are dead don't feel pain. So that's a good place to start. Okay? But God wants us to experience certain things, just us to know that ultimately it's not about us, it's not our decision. We can want things, we can wish for things, we can pray for things, even pray. It's still ultimately in a position to say yes or say no. So it's not it's not a feeling of futility of human existence or anything like that. No, it's just that we can't always get everything we want. And then the big one, pain in most cases is a consequence of something else that has happened or that has not happened, something else we've done or we've not done. So let the children know that if you leave certain things you are supposed to do today undone, when the results come, they might be painful. So you don't begin to ask God, why did you let this happen? You didn't do what you're supposed to do, then the results came. That's not magic. If you are only praying to God to help you do your homework and you don't get to sit down to do your homework, pain will come. That pain is wrapped in a package called failure. So as parents, Let your children see you. That's why we started by saying the process. Let them see you go from conceptualizing to designing everything in life, everything you do daily, waking up. Look, we're ideas, all of us. We are, as individuals, as human beings, we all started as ideas. Our parents were at some point, it would be good for us to have children. Oh, yes, they agreed. And then we're here. We were the ideas. So everything in life is born out of some ideas by somebody or some people. So when you have ideas for certain things to happen, you have to work on it, you have to design it, you have to. I've just talked about Parenting Institute. I've just talked about from 30 years ago, almost 30 years ago to now. As a matter of fact, this project started in 1996. Before we even went to the Dutch embassy, before they funded it, supported it with a pilot, with fund to do the pilot, the first pilot. We had our own pilot, which we showed them to say, this is what we're talking about. You can talk about sexuality in churches? Yes, I can. And they said, okay, wow, that's a new one. And it was in the era of HIV and AIDS. So they've supported it, that we want parents to be the ones to provide sexuality education to their children. In churches, wow, you can do that? Yes. We started in 1996. 1998, they funded the first pilot. And then 2000, the scale up process. It's not an individual who has nothing, there's nothing to show from where that he just arrived. The whole neighborhood is turned upside down. The person acquires the whole street, buys the whole state, owns the whole country. From what? There has to be a process. People, let your children know. The Bible itself says, it said, do not rejoice because the wicked are prospering. Don't. So don't point your attention or gaze at the Joneses. You do, your children are watching. Pain, God allows us to feel some things to still show He's sovereign. It's about Him, it's not about us. It's not futile, it's not about helplessness of human nature. No. The same Bible says He loves us. He'll never leave us, He'll not forsake us. So you depend, you know that He said, commit. Trust not in your own wisdom, your own understanding. Commit it to Him. Even at the end of the day, that the prophet said, look, whether He decides to rescue or He doesn't decide to, I'll praise the Lord. Yeah. So I know someone that has scriptures playing all over his house all through the night at a low volume. He said he is building his children's spirit. What if it's not about playing the scriptures? You can speak all the scriptures you want. You have to leave the scriptures for your children to see. You have to practice and live what you are preaching, what you are talking to you. So I talked about the Youth Agenda Summit and the children, the young people, what they said they wanted. What part of what they wanted, they said they wanted from their parents is that their parents should stop the do as I say and not as I do syndrome. So you don't go about playing scriptures on the sound system and your children are seeing you doing something else. It won't work. Okay. Why do you think so many children of pastors turn out to stray from Christian faith? Because most of us don't think that pastors are in the world. You know, it's a scripture. It's not made out with it. Yeah. He said, I've told you these things so that you know that in the world you have tribulations, but in me you have peace. But he said, be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. Now, the problem with that scripture is this. People believe that the church and the pastors and the Jews are not in the world. For some reason in our brains, that whole group is in some outer space place that is not here. So we believe that their children too are in that outer space, that we don't think that they are human beings. We don't think that they are subject to human challenges, experiences, shortcomings. Unfortunately, all of them, the pastors themselves believe that. They believe that somewhere, somehow, for some reason, there is some. No. The church is in this world. The pastors are in this world. Their families are in this world. They are subject to. So the earlier they come to that realization themselves, the better they will focus on not believing that their children will just behave nicely because they are pastors. That's the problem. Okay? How should parents respond when their children say they do not want to pray because God already knows their problem? No. The Bible says, out of the abundance of the mouth, the mouth speaks. He said, we declare with our mouth what we believe in. And you believe it that God already, but tell him, he said, come now, let us reason together. Bring forward your strong reasons. Yes. Practice it. When they see you practice it, you are answering that question already. You see me, I know I'm going to get to work. I have a car. I'll drive on the road, but I'm praying, Father, please get me safe to work. Well, I can say I don't have to pray. I have a car. I will get there. But it's practical. You have to live it. You have to practice it. They have to see you. Okay? How do parents with disabled children go about teaching them about capability? I can do all things, Christ that strengthens me. Not just by saying it. Seek for therapies. Okay, seek for professional help to help them. Then be there. Encourage them to function in their levels of capabilities. Again, you need to know your children. The ones with disabilities, the ones without disability. Everybody has disability now. It's just not been diagnosed. Okay, not with this epidemic of ADHD all over the place. Now there's a whole lot happening now to impact people's mental health in very severe ways. And we look at everybody wear some nice clothes, behave nicely, and we think everybody's all right. Everybody's not all right. Okay? But you need to know your children. You need to know that because one child behaves in a particular way, achieves or attains particular things, that the other one would also do. No, you don't do that. Know your children and then relate with your children on the basis of your knowledge of their capacities, their capabilities, their behaviors, their attitudes, what they know, how they could learn, how they wouldn't be able to learn. You don't say, this person did this, why shouldn't you? It don't work that way. Please, let's not do that. Okay? That's actually part of what was in their communique in 1998. Stop comparing us. Yeah. Direct from them. I have noticed many parents just assume their children understand God because they take them to church. It's really a big No, because like we said in that book, it's Mark 16:33. We don't think the church is in the world. Elsewhere, Christ said that the church is a marketplace. Everybody have come. And again, he says, who comes to church? We believe that people who are in church are people who are normal, people who are whole. No, he says it's only the sick that go to the hospital. Don't you know that? Why do you go to hospital? Why do you go to see a doctor? When you go to church, I don't know. I believe I have a problem, so I want to talk to God. So if I'm perfectly okay, where do I go to talk to? Unfortunately, nobody is perfect at any point in time in any religion. Nobody is, because we are dependent on so many things. And our entire life is predicated on dependency. Some other human beings have now monetized those dependencies. And we are now numbers for them. And that's not our topic for today, okay? So, it feels so good to be at this point, okay? In this season, on this live stream, this podcast, on this channel. We're not praising ourselves, we're not beating our chest, because there's still so much to do. That's where we are going to take our programming terrestrial, in person, to parents in schools, primary, secondary, in whatever environment people want to work with us. We share what we know. We learn from others. We share. We'll be mutual learning, mutual teaching, we'll be mutual practicing. The beneficiaries are our children. Those people you see in those pictures that we're inaugurating, they are my target. One of them, at least one of them that I still remember, I still keep tabs with, has a PhD now from 2007. My guess that most of them, if not all of them now, are parents. So there's a sense in running such programs and not leaving them in the hands of our government. If you could take your children away from public schools and send them to private school because, they will be. So you should also, educate yourself to get the information, the knowledge, the education that you need to be able to parent them more. Get help, get assistance that are available. We're making such help, such assistance available through the Parenting Institute, but first, through partnering with schools, through PTAs or parent forums to run this program in whatever environment people are ready or interested in working with us. So on that note, I want to thank you also very much for having tolerated me this past seasons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons times 13. That's a lot. Okay, and we're not giving up. We're not saying it. We're not ending. We're just taking a break to work on the terrestrial programs, get started, get partnerships started. And this live stream, this podcast will remain a resource base for parents. So don't be surprised when we return next year for you to see some people sitting or flanking me or joining me, more people joining me on the stream. So that's a possibility of the new design, okay? So thank you so very much for supporting us this far, and then thank you for your anticipated support going forward. Thank you for subscribing. We won't stop, uploading new short videos. It's just a live stream that we are, suspending temporarily for this period to take a break and redesign it and then do some other things and come back to you. So thank you so very much. When we return, the day won't change, the time won't change. It will still be 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, US and Canada, 7 p.m. West African time, including Nigeria. It will still be Wednesdays, okay? So thank you so very much for being here, for remaining here, for being there, for remaining there, even when we are not live streaming, even when we will continue to respond to your chats at our different social media handles and continue to produce short videos that speak to specific parenting issues between now and the middle of January when we'll come back. So from all of us, from my team, from the team of very wonderful young people who have made me look so good every week this past 18 or so months, this past 7 seasons, thank you, all of you. I'll see you again. I think it's 22nd or 26th of January or so. Yeah, we'll be back. Okay. From all of us, Bye-bye. My name is still Richie Adewusi. Bye-bye.